I just got back from my hands-on experience with the Nintendo Switch 2 and boy do I have some things to say. I was lucky enough to go on day 2 of the experience here in Melbourne, Australia, which just happened to fall on Mother's Day, so a big happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Once I arrived at the centre that was hosting the event, they were able to show us off the Switch 2 in all its glory and all the bits and bobs that came with in terms of the accessories, what came inside the box and everything else while we waited to head inside. Once we were inside the main area, we could see everything was split off into categories, mainly placing each other inside of their games. You had Mario Kart, you had Donkey Kong, you had Mario Party, you had a whole bunch all separated off. So we began with Mario Kart. They showed us off the Grand Prix area in both a split screen and in handheld version. And then off next to it was a whole area dedicated to the knockout mode, which is called Knockout Tour. Now, before getting into Donkey Kong, I must say that when I got to sit down to play this, the lovely lady informed me that I was not allowed to record any footage of the game because it was an unreleased demo. But she didn't say anything about recording someone else's gameplay. So we had Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a game. It's something. It's not for me, but it's definitely a game. We also had an area where they were showing off the Nintendo classics that are coming with the Nintendo GameCube expansion. I got my hands on playing Mario Strikers. I thought this would be nice and easy until 10 seconds into the game while Luigi sidesteps two of my characters, shoots from halfway and then scores. I realized that I just wanted to drop the controller and walk away. Next we had the Mario Party area with the new add-on that they're bringing in with the Switch 2 that brings in the functionality with the camera. I walked by it and they're like, oh, we need one more person to play Mario Party. I'm like, oh, I like Mario Party, sure. I didn't know I was going to be taken to a back room in front of a camera where they had to make me dance and perform. And on top of that, I didn't find out until halfway through it that what I was doing was being displayed to the main area. Just have a look at these poor victims.
Okay, so, John, look down for that out, sir.
Next I got my hands on the new game Drag X Drive, where you basically get to play wheelchair basketball. The controls were definitely something that I thought I got to master with the tutorial, but when it came to actual gameplay, I was just a fish out of water. It does seem like an interesting game, but the skills to play it is going to take a while to master. We also had some expansions on previous titles, just like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We also had the latest Kirby game with an updated DLC to add a lot more replayability into that game. We also got our hands on the new Metroid Prime, which also includes like the weird mouse and keyboard kind of control, but it's mouse and controller. I found that to be really fun, actually, being able to use like a mouse control to aim while still using the buttons on the Joy-Con. But the only issue was I kept getting confused with the buttons in terms of like shooting, and that was on my mouse. Just felt a little bit off, but again, something that you can just get used to, and I found it to be really good. But again, the main push with this thing was Mario Kart World, and more specifically, Knockout Tour. Now, I don't have too much issues in terms of the gameplay itself for Knockout Tour. Like, a lot of it is straight kind of bends and that, but mainly it's just straight lines, and a lot of people are a bit concerned by that. That is fine. It's just the bullshittery that happened playing that game. My god, I was humbled very quickly. I thought I was a decent Mario Kart player. The best placing I got was 8th. I saw a little child who was like 6 years old get 3rd place in her one, and she could barely see the screen. She was just the same height as the Switch itself was sitting on this table. She could barely see. Got 3rd. Me, closest I got was 8th. There was one race that I was in front, heading towards the finish line where the top 16, just the top 16 had to go through. I finished 17th after seeing that finish line. I went from 1st to 17th. Oh, people think that I'm all nice and calm playing Mario Kart 8, and people wonder why I don't rage at that game. You're gonna see a whole new me when this game comes out, because if I'm playing Knockout Tour, my god, I am going to get Mario Karted so hard that I'm gonna do things that I'm gonna regret. But putting aside those kind of things, I feel like the game itself felt pretty good. Like, I struggled in terms of the drifting and the handling just because there's all new karts to get used to. There's no more customizing. I couldn't find a pipe kart. It seems like my theory on the colored Yoshis are correct from what I was seeing. You could only be different colored Yoshis every time you got a different food. No sign of a green Shy Guy, so we will, you know, stand up and we will do something. I don't know. There's only like 8 of us that, you know, played color Shy Guys. But still, but otherwise, the game looked great. The game felt great. Free roam is going to be something else. We just mainly had hands-on in the knockout tour, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. It is fun. Frustrating, but it's fun. But as all good things, it had to come to an end. And as the sun had already set, I was on my way home. They gave me a nice little goodie bag as well, which I was not expecting. That was nice. As soon as I got home, I got to open it up, and as we can see here, they gave me like a nice cool little backpack with like the Switch 2 branding on it, and a very nice handy like solid like water bottle with the Nintendo Switch 2 branding on it. So yeah, overall a good experience. We're less than a month away. Here we go.